Well, your money, of course, is important to you, and what you do with it should be as well. A new report from Consumer Group Choice shows the major banks are making a $7.3 billion profit bonus at our cost.
Now, it's all because we, the customers, keep $153 billion of our cash in no or low interest accounts. It's our fault. You'll have to explain that to me, Anthony. That's leaving the banks to invest their money and earn interest instead of paying it out to us. So we hit the streets to ask viewers their tips on beating the banks at their own game.
Just to shop around, see what other places are offering, especially credit unions.
Is there any way? You tell me if you could.
Use the ING direct account so that you don't pay as much in customer service fees and that sort of thing.
Well, I think all banks should cut off all the fees that customers pay.
Very clever of ING to send their staff out while we're interviewing people in the street. Money expert Anthony Bell is here to talk us through how to beat the banks at their own game. G'day, mate. Nice to see you. Now, we all complain about high fees, about interest rates, poor customer service. We talk about this people power realistically. Is there anything we can do to get revenge?
Well, short of actually saying we're not going to deal with banks, we're going to pull our cash out and put it under the house, the answer is no.
Right.
Banks are about as close to monopolistic services as you can get. But there are ways to improve the gaps of how much the banks make by making you make more.
Okay, explain it to us why there is such a big discrepancy in between the interest rate they charge us and what they pay us.
Mostly, Carl, it's because of lazy Australians who just get their pay put into the bank, and those pay rates don't collect term deposit rates, they collect like 0.25% per year. So the banks then use that money, they give it into mortgages and they sell the money at 7%. So the gap difference is actually all made in profit by the bank. But if you had it in term deposit and kept on topping that up, well, the banks are paying 5.5 to 6%, so they're actually making less, which means you're making more.
Right, so taking the money and putting it under the house is actually not punishing the banks, they won't care.
Only in a global financial crisis does that actually work.
What are the top 5 ways to get your own back?
Okay, so look, the first one and the most important is to just ring up and ask and even complain and say, look, I don't feel I'm getting a great deal there. A good way to do it is to check out your bank's products by going online, and also at the same time check out the competitors' products to see if another bank is actually offering a better service or a better product than what you're currently getting, and ask your bank to match it. Now, if the bank won't match it, the best thing to do is then talk about leaving the bank. But be careful of all the exit fees and charges, and it is often a real hassle for not a lot of gain because all the banks are very close to each other.
Anthony, I love how you say compare, but when you go to compare something, I don't know, it's really difficult because you're never comparing apples with apples and oranges. It's always an orange plus 0.25% minus an apple from this one. What's the best way to compare?
Probably just easily get on your net and watch out. If you go onto NAB's site or Commonwealth's or ANZ's or Westpac's for that matter, they'll be flashing up key deposit rates or things like that which are best in the market. So it's a very quick way of just getting free information in a fast way. I'd also be very careful to find out accounts that are relevant to your banking needs and not go into like a 3-year